Hi everyone, it's Chris, and I am back today with another episode of perusing around the chaos that is fat talk on TikTok. Um, these videos are going over really well. People really like them. It's definitely a fun series, so I want to be able to keep putting these out along with my other series. I'm just having a lot of fun with the channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Chris. I do have a medical background. I like to give information and advice. I am definitely not for everybody. I don't mince words. I don't pander to these people and the woke types. So, if you're easily offended and stuff like that, you might not like me, but that's okay. I do try to come at things from a point of science as far as health and stuff and logic. Any returning viewers? We're up over 339 subs right now, so awesome. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I do have to give like the disclaimer that I'm not a doctor. Anything I say, if it resonates with you, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not diagnosing anyone. I'm just mentioning things based on my experience and my education, and always go to a doctor if anything goes wrong. That being said, today we are going over a topic that's been really blowing up over the past several months in social media and the internet, and that is preferences are phobic. Having a preference makes you some type of bigot, and that you can't have them. So again, on this channel right now, we're going to specifically be going over the fat ones. I looked up preferences or fat phobic on TikTok, and we're going to see what some of these videos are. And if if you really like the ones related to dating or anything specifically, I can do more. I do have a little bit of like an allergy cold thing going on, and I'm a little stuffy. So if you hear a little click like this, that's just me like muting my headset mic if I have to cough or something, so you guys don't have to listen to it. Okay, this first video is a stitch, and it is a react to the biggest, probably, fat phobic video about dating preferences, and that was the one Lacey made about, how she talked to us like we were all kindergartners, and how you're basically not allowed to have a preference. So let's listen, and let's see what the girl has to say about it. And I do believe she has some sanity. Keep in mind, guys, I haven't watched most of these.
But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic.
Okay.
Lacey's so
How
butthurt.
egocentric do you have to be?
Yes.
You think everybody needs to be attracted to you?
Exactly.
Your girl's a little thick. Do I think every guy's going to be attracted to that? Absolutely not. And they don't have to be. Preferences are not problematic. Excluding someone from dating you isn't harmful. Excluding someone from events or friendships or rights, that's harmful.
Yeah.
Excluding someone from dating you is not harmful. I remember one time I was trying to shoot my shot with this fine black man, and he turned me down because he didn't really want to date white girls. That's okay.
And that's his right.
That's okay. It was his preference. He wasn't attracted to me. I've been turned down because I'm fat, because I'm white, because I'm tall, because I'm blonde, because I'm bisexual. All preferences that people didn't really have. Guess what? Preferences are, it's okay. I promise you. Promise you.
I really like that one. So, yeah, she's absolutely right. Preferences don't make you a hateful person, right? Just because, I mean, like, I don't know. You don't always know what the reasons are why somebody wouldn't date somebody. It could be just a myriad of things. They just don't find that person attractive. Maybe there's a stigma with their religion or their family, or they had a bad experience before with somebody that looks like that, or you know what I mean. It's not necessarily a slight to you, but these fat acceptance people, oh, did you hear that crack in the voice? They take it as a personal slight, because a lot of their arguments all come down to very shallow purposes, right? They care more about the physical, the appearance, the stuff like that, the clothes, and they're just mad that they are not the beauty standard, and that most people do not consider their bodies attractive and consider them uh, attractive. You know what I mean? It's a fact because being obese is unhealthy, and a lot of people are not attracted to poor health. Just like Lacey had said that it's bad to not want to date somebody in a wheelchair, and that you're a total bigot if you do that. Okay, but if you're I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not saying that people in wheelchairs can't be active and stuff like, because obviously they can. Some of them are very, disabled people are elite athletes, but in general, if you're the type of person who likes to go mountain climbing and hiking all the time and camping and stuff like that, and maybe you want to live out in the middle of the wilderness where you homestead, and it's, you are working your butts off on like a homestead or a little farm 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's kind of what I want to do. Somebody in a wheelchair, that may not be suitable for you, that may not be desirable to you, because you want someone to be able to do that stuff with you, and to live that type of lifestyle you need somebody able-bodied enough to do that. That's not you slighting all people in wheelchairs just because you don't want to date somebody in a wheelchair. It's just like, it's a preference, because for everybody who doesn't want to date somebody in a wheelchair or somebody who's fat or whatever, there's going to be other people that do. So yeah, it's like they try to guilt you for your preferences, and it's disturbing. Let's see this one. She's been out
If
recently.
you do not date fat people because you just happen to view fatness as neutral but not be particularly attracted to it, fine. That's a preference. If you don't date fat people because you think being fat means that they are gross, lazy, live an unhealthy lifestyle, or are embarrassing to be seen with in public, that's fatphobic.
But they do live an unhealthy lifestyle. If you are more than like 30 or 40 or 50 pounds overweight, you do live an unhealthy lifestyle. And she said in the beginning that if you just consider fat neutral and you just happen to not be attracted to it, that's a preference. But none of them think this way, okay? No matter what you say, no matter how you spin it, if you are not attracted to this fat girl, she's not going to go, oh yeah, your reason's neutral, you just aren't attracted. She's going to go, no, you're fat phobic, because deep down they spin everything to be fat phobic. And you know what? It's not nice if people say your body's gross, but if you get yourself, I mean, people are entitled to that opinion. Or if you get so big that your body, as I've said before, loses the shape of human, other people have the right to find that unappealing. And yeah, gross is not a nice word to use. Maybe you don't need to use that word, but they're allowed to find it unappealing and unattractive, and they are allowed to consider you unhealthy because you are, and you do live a healthy lifestyle, and you don't live the same way as they do. And yes, I hate to break it to you, a lot of fat people are lazy. Not all of them, not all of them. A lot of them take care of families and kids and work a lot and stuff like that. But when it comes to overall health or, dietary choices and fitness, yes, a lot of them are lazy. Some of them are just super busy people that just really eat bad. You know what I mean? I don't think every fat person is just sitting in front of their I'm having a mind freeze. They're not just sitting in front of their TV or computer 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, watching YouTube and stuff like that. No, a lot of them are very busy, very active. They have responsibilities, jobs, things like that. But people are going to make those opinions based on general rules. This one's really, she's one of the really prolific fat acceptance activists. Here's another one. I don't know if I should watch her because she really, 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 really annoys me. Okay, we'll watch it.
Shut up, it is not.
Yes.
This is Fat Fierce Femme. There's something on the screen that says, saying you don't find any fat people attractive or would never date a fat person is not a preference, it's fat phobic. And see, this goes back to what I just said. They'll never consider it neutral. They will always consider it fat phobia.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's really not. It's called a preference. People are allowed to have preferences, which is why this next part is a little troubling.
More sanity. Amen. Another stitch. Yay.
It is a real term.
Okay, this is fat fat fierce fat femme, uh, with a stitch over her video saying fat phobia is a real system of oppression because it is a real term that applies to a systemic oppression. Okay, here I'm gonna okay, here let's see what she says.
Term that applies to a system of oppression.
Oppression? Really?
This
Pardon
girl's
my
so funny.
oppression.
Do you, if for those of you who aren't watching, this woman who's stitching this and rebuttaling with sanity is just sitting there like so smug and calm and cool. It's kind of funny considering if you know how like heated and spastic the FAs can get.
Legitimate medical conditions notwithstanding, are people, or are they not, able to control their body weight and physical fitness levels?
Yes.
Is directly linked to evidence that can prove that we live in a westernized society that is based in fat phobia.
That's not entirely true, is it? Because in times past, historically, it was actually a sign of affluence, wealth, and privilege if a person was more overweight than not.
And it wasn't, but they think this automatically means it's because obese bodies used to be considered sexy. No, 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 no. And like overweight back in the day, back in medieval times and stuff, was probably nothing more than a little chubby these days. Because people used to be truly lean. And you'd occasionally, like King Henry and stuff, get your larger bodied people. But it wasn't a sign of sexiness. It was a sign that you had money. You had a lot of food. You could eat. So that means you could afford to feed them, feed your kids, take care of them. It meant you have possibly some sort of higher standing in society. Just like pale skin used to be favored amongst more darker and tan skins as well, because a lot of the people who were pale were the ones who got to stay in their castles and villas and stuff like that and not be exposed to the sun 15 hours a day. They weren't out toiling and working in the fields and stuff like that. So that's how some of this uh, preference like this came to be. But they just go, no, it's because we used to be the sexiest and now we're not. No, no, sis, I don't think so.
Because that meant that they did not have to do a large amount of physical labor in order to survive or make a living.
Yeah, they had people, servants and stuff to do all their stuff for them.
Why we have these preferences when they're not actually preferences, they're just anti-fat bias.
No amount of telling someone that their preferences aren't valid is going to change the fact that they have their own preferences.
Yes, and it's never going to change the fact that they don't find you attractive. And then there's another thing on the screen for the fierce fat femme, whatever her name is. So saying you don't find any fat people attractive.
Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Oh, okay. This is the beginning of it again. No, this woman absolutely had sanity. Everything she said was true, and the fat activists just cannot handle not being the sexiest. They are so jealous of thin people and fit people, especially women. And God, former fats. They hate former fats. They insist they don't hate them and that they're not jealous, but they absolutely are. Okay, let's see. A lot more of these might be stitches, so that's fun. Let's look at a few more of these. Here's another one. To our friend, to our friend, the first one. Let's see what this one says.
Men on the internet will fight for everyone's right to have a preference. Clean up until a woman prefers a man with some money.
Let's talk about dating preferences. This video was so good, you must watch it, and I want to branch off and talk about how it relates to fat phobia and dating. A lot of times when people are asked, why don't you date fat people, trans people, people of color, whatever, they will...
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I've debated on getting into the trans thing on my channel. I go very back and forth about it. Because I'm not anti-trans, but a lot of people would consider some of my views and opinions, they would just call me a straight up transphobe. And I'm not trying to, I don't know, minimize anybody or anything like that. But if you're straight, you're not going to want to date a trans person because, oh my God, just at a biological level, those people are what they were born as, and some people are just never going to wrap their heads around that. And that is okay because there are people who are fine with dating trans people. Just like there are people who are just never, ever going to be attracted to fat people. And that's okay. You are allowed to have your preference.
Say it's just a preference.
See, it's like, don't let these people shame you or guilt you. That's basically what. And why in the hell? Who wants somebody to date them because they were guilted and forced by societal stigma into dating them? Like, do you really need somebody to bang you that bad? You can't get it. Like, that you have to shame somebody into wanting you. Let me tell you, the case is no. It may be a little different for guys, but I'm telling you, as far as girls, there are feeders, there are everything. No matter what kind of woman you are, there are going to be plenty of men, plenty of people that want to do you. That's just how it is. So why this? I have to force everybody to be attracted to me. I have to force everybody to find me attractive. That's not how it works. You could be voted the most attractive person in the world, and there's going to be people you just don't do it for, okay? They're never ever going to, you know, go up to you and say, okay, because you were voted the most attractive, I am now sexually attracted to you, and I'm going to just, yeah, let's do this. It's just not going to happen. That's not how it works. Our brains, our preferences, I do believe, are to a point wired into us. Like, you just like what you like, and your desires and stuff change and adapt and adjust and grow with you. But they're trying to say that your preferences, if they're fat phobic, are only because society has and patriarchy has made you that way. It has, like, basically brainwashed you into thinking that way, because there's no other reason anybody would find a fat body unattractive is unless they were brainwashed by media and stuff like that. So it's like, it's just ridiculous.
I'm just not attracted to them. I can't make myself be attracted to someone I'm just not attracted to. The implication.
And that's true. You cannot make yourself physically attracted to somebody that you are just not attracted to. You just can't.
You're being that preferences are innate.
And if you deal with it, you are still going to be extremely unhappy and unfulfilled. You know what I mean? Jesus. Why would you want someone to be with you that could be potentially repulsed by you?
Unchanging and completely independent of any outside factors or societal norms. And therefore, that they are inherently unproblematic. Like, it's not fat phobia, it's just who I am. I can't help it.
Because that's true. For a lot of people, that's how it is.
I think it's actually a lot more complicated than that. Our desires are not immune to social conditioning.
There might be some social conditioning, okay? I'll give her that. But listen, at the end of the day, you could see who everyone's attracted to, what's popular right now, who your friends go for, who your family goes for. But at the end of the day, you have to pick who you're truly attracted to, who you're going to be happy with. Because guess what? Society doesn't have to look at them, doesn't have to kiss them, doesn't have to sleep with them, or marry them, or procreate with them. So, like, at the end of the day, no matter what you say, ultimately how you feel in your brain and in your mind and in your heart, that is, and in your loins, that is ultimately what is truly important. Because, your friends might think someone's hot. You might think they're ugly. Maybe this person likes you and they're like, oh, you're stupid if you don't go out with her, and you feel pressured to. You might think about, but at the end of the day, your friends aren't going to be the ones being with this person. You're going to be. So you have to choose somebody that's going to make you happy. And looks are not the only important thing, guys. Definitely not. There's a myriad of factors besides physical appearance that go into attraction. But we cannot deny that physical appearance is a big part of it, especially in the beginning. But So you have to find somebody who is going to make you happy on several levels, or it is just never, it's never going to be work, it's never going to work, or it's never going to be a good thing. Gosh, this Tracy is a lunatic. Here is one. This girl really got a lot of heat for speaking out about this. She's a former fat, so she's like the most hated of the hated. And she speaks some truth, and they came for her
You
hard.
believe all intentional weight loss is fatphobic. Okay.
Yes, because she's responding to a comment she got that says, I believe that all intentional weight loss is fat phobic. And she's going to bring it home.
What's wrong with that, though? Like, what's wrong with somebody not wanting to be fat? Like, tell me what's wrong with that.
Nothing, sister, nothing.
If somebody wants to lose weight because they're going to mentally and physically feel better and they want to avoid disease long term, why does that matter?
It doesn't, but these people, you have to remember, deny that fat causes any problems. I mean, they really truly deny reality. Let's ignore the fact that the excess weight is horrible for your joints. Usually it involves a horrible diet, excessive overconsumption. Fat is not a benign thing that just sits on your body. It is very hormonally active. It is, like, to some people considered another endocrine organ. It's very estrogenetic, and they don't even know how many other hormones it messes with and releases. And it's very damaging. But, you're not allowed to worry about that because they want you to think they're so cute in their super cute clothes that they got from Torrid.
Heart disease is the number one leading cause of death in America. High blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, smoking, key factors for heart disease.
And yes, I know thin people can have these things too, guys. We have to remember that. But they are definitely more prevalent in obese people because of the damage that you do when you make yourself obese. Yes, I said that. I said what I said. You make yourself obese. There, I said it. And people get so PO'd at me about it, but it's true. There's no condition or anything, no medicine you could take, no hormonal, no genetic, nothing that will make you more than about 20, maybe 25 pounds max overweight. And these women we're talking about are grossly overweight, and that has to do with what they're eating.
Right, we knew that. Several other medical conditions and lifestyle choices can also put people at higher risk for heart disease, including diabetes, overweight and obesity, unhealthy diet, physical inactivity, and excessive alcohol intake. This
And smoking too, yeah.
is directly from the
And drugs.
CDC. While people might think health at every size exists, if I can put myself in a position where I'm statistically less likely to have diseases and die from the number one cause of death in America, I want to be part of that. And if that triggers people, I'm fine with that.
Good on her, man. Yes, I love it. And you know what? That's what I mean. Like, I'm absolutely fine with that too. And yes, you should. There's ultimately a chance you could always get these things and things could happen. But you should try to minimize your risk. Like exactly what she said. And this girl lost weight. She took care of herself. She changed. She took accountability and responsibility. But these people like their food and their gluttony more than they like health. And they like being a victim more than they like health. But you just got to try to take the best care of yourself as you can, especially if you have other contributing factors, like you do smoke on top of being overweight, you do drink or take drugs or stuff like that. Like, these are all things we need to try to avoid. And I know it can be hard, especially with food. It's so readily available, it's so prominent in our culture in America. Everything is supersized, everything's about eat constantly. We even drink tons of our calories and sugar. But it's like you have to learn and think about, what do you value more? Your health, your life, being around for your loved ones for a long time, or this junk food that is palatable and giving you that dopamine hit and that pleasure right now when it's going to be gone in 10 minutes. And I really think it's super selfish that these people don't care about their health, don't care about their weight when they have kids. Because to not care about being around for your kids for as long as you can is atrocious. We like that word on this channel. It is atrocious. And especially if you're not teaching your kids to be healthy and stuff like that, and letting them be overweight, that's even worse. Like people like Tess Holiday, who she's banned the word healthy in her house and teaches her kids that there's no such thing as a good or a bad food. Yes, there is. I mean, yes, there is. I'm sorry, I love a frickin' Rice Krispie treat or a Snickers bar or ice cream or God knows what else. Love it. Cake. Love cake. I just way overate on the cake at my son's birthday this past 2 or 3 days. We had cake in the house. But it is not the same as like steak and beef and chicken and eggs and lower starch veggies or a whole fruit. It's not. It's not. So to teach your kids those delusions, that's scary. I have time to look at one or two more, guys. Let's see here. I'm just wondering. Okay.
Point to where.
Okay, this girl is reacting to a comment that says, this is Chunky Mac. She's featured in some of my calorie counting videos. 260 pounds she is. The comment says, well, I prefer skinny guys and I am attracted to skinnier males. Just because I don't like fat guys doesn't mean I hate them. People have preferences. And she's starting out with point to where I said you couldn't have preferences. She's gonna say that, but it's gonna be you can have preferences as long as they are you prefer thinner people over fat people. That's not allowed. That's unspoken rule.
I said you couldn't have fucking preferences. You can't, because I never fucking said that. My video was also about men not dating fat women because they are fatphobic.
Well, you want to know something funny? This is great. It's ironic because all of these women, especially all these fat activists, bitch, moan, and complain that people don't find them the most attractive, that they're not the most gorgeous, most desirable, blah, 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 all this and that. But there's also been statements, written and verbal, put out there by these same women who openly admit that they do not find fat men attractive. No, they can't date a fat guy. Oh, no, 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 no. A dad bod? Get the hell out of here. No, these fat women who don't have the shape of human, who don't take care of their health, don't exercise, don't eat well, of course, they deserve Thor. Okay, they deserve Chris Hemsworth and all the superheroes and whoever else you find particularly super hot. They can't go out with, fat bastard. Oh, no, 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 no. They have to have, like I said, Thor or Loki or, God, name one of the million other super hot guys in Hollywood. And I just want to know, how is that appropriate? How is that fair? They can date a guy who clearly goes to the gym and works out and takes care of himself and watches what he eats, who clearly has a restrictive eating disorder because he puts the fork down at some point, and he clearly believes some foods are better than other foods because he chooses to eat the bad word healthy foods. And he looks good. He's societally accepted. But the same men, they cannot be attracted to the thin, fit women. They can't be attracted to the women who work out and eat healthy and do all that. Those stupid, skinny bitches who have the restrictive eating disorders because they said no to a piece of cake and they eat broccoli over, I don't know, cheesecake and crap like that. Tell me how, and let me know in the comments, what do you think of this double standard? I think it's absolute bullcrap, because it's just not fair. And that's basically disproving their whole theory. To them, oh, that's a preference. They prefer to not date fat men. It's only different when it's applying to these women. They want all the rules to be bent and skewed and changed for them, but they want everything their way, okay? It's like, the world is not Burger King. You can't have it your way. You can't have everything your way. And they just literally want the best of everything without having to do any of the work, put in any of the time, put in any of the effort. And it's just very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. And yeah, and they're mad because these guys aren't going to look. There are ones though. There are FAs that they do, almost all of them. They date thin men. Their men are either fit and lean or just straight up thin. So I just don't understand how that's fair. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's see what this one says. Okay. Oh, it's this girl again. No, I'm gonna skip. It's Tracy again. um, there's a lot of Tracy on this tag. Oh, that's Tracy again. Oh my God, she's everywhere, guys. I'm just trying to mix it up just a little bit. Um, Okay, here's one I believe might say something. Here.
I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. Everyone was so happy for me. I hated myself.
This is a girl who was on Jubilee talking about fatness and fat phobia and stuff. And this girl said that she lost 60 pounds, lost a lot of weight, got thin, looked better, and she felt horrible and hated it. And I just don't believe it. And the headline says she prefers to be fat. Yeah, right.
I hated the way I looked. I hated why I exercised. And
well, if you did it purely for other people, I agree, that's not good. Like, it's to me, it's okay to care about what other people think. That's human nature. But ultimately, you gotta do it for, your why has to be better than that. It has to be inherently for you, for yourself, to make yourself happy. And for even like with me doing this, like for my son, and to be around for him more. I would never be fully successful and I didn't start being successful until this year when I've been doing better, until I started realizing I need to do it for myself too. So the why is important. Don't just do it for other people, guys.
And things like that. And so I made a conscious decision of, my parents are not going to be supportive, or maybe they won't like it, but it was a choice for me to say, well, I don't want to work out 8 hours a day every day and hate what I look like to be.
And let me tell you, you don't need to work out 8 hours a day and just eat like alfalfa sprouts and water to be thin. And nobody's saying you have to look like a super fit like bikini competitor model or movie star. I mean, just get to a healthy weight. You don't have to be perfect. And I think that's what a lot of these people push, is like, you have to be skinny and perfect. You don't have to be skinny to be a healthy size. And nobody has to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We need to learn to love and deal with our imperfections and not hold ourselves to that high of an unrealistic standard. But you don't need to work out 8 hours a day to be healthy and to be thin, guys. If that was the case, do you know how many people who are thin walking around every day would not be?
Skinnier, so I'm going to let myself eat more.
This guy has a thing that says, "What did I just watch?" Enough internet today. Time to hit the gym. That was from a TikTok channel called For the Boys. So okay, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this topic. There's a lot of talk going around it. It's definitely a fun one to go over and hash out. There's definitely some unfairness and double standards going on for sure. I hope you liked the video. I will be putting some more stuff out later this week. I was gonna vlog. Okay, I was gonna vlog a meteor shower that we had. Like, it's the leader meteor shower going on right now. It started a couple days ago, and it's supposed to go on till the 25th. If you guys want to check it out, I don't know if you can see it in America, in my part of America, you can see it. And of course, it's been overcast and cloudy and raining the past 2 nights, and we haven't been able to see anything. So if I get a chance to do that, I'm going to try to vlog it, see if I can get some pictures at least. If not, then I am going to be starting to do some vlogs and stuff like that. We're kind of busy, have a couple things going on this week, have my shop I'm working on and stuff like that, but we did have an unexpected death in the family. One of our elders passed away, so we're dealing with that over the next couple days, so kind of throws things off, but may she rest in peace. She was a wonderful woman. We will keep to a random schedule and get back on track and everything like that. So, and then my son's birthday was last week. My partner's birthday was also last week. And at his party Friday, I was expecting to only have maybe 5, 10 people show up. But we had about 19 people in this house. And it was so much fun. It was busy. It was hectic. It lasted a lot longer, but it was crazy. So I've been busy. But let me know what you think. I will see you probably for at least 1 or 2 more videos this week. And don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what you think. I did have somebody complain in the comments that I talk too much. Well, I'm sorry. This is a channel about me talking and discussing. So I'm sorry. I never admit that I don't talk a lot. I hope it doesn't bug you guys too much. But anyways, I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you guys have a great start to your week. Bye.